Let's begin by addressing the whisper in the room. You have likely heard it, or perhaps you have felt it, the judgment that lingers around the idea of an older woman and a younger man. Society has spent decades telling us that this dynamic is a glitch, a midlife crisis, or a temporary fling. We are told that men are visually wired to only seek youth, and that women expire at a certain age. But if you look closer at the modern dating landscape, you will notice something profound is shifting. The statistics don't lie, and neither does the energy in the air. Younger men are actively seeking out older women in record numbers, and it is not for the reasons the tabloids tell you. It isn't just about a fantasy. It is about a desperate hunger for something that has gone missing in modern dating: authenticity. To understand how a younger man really treats an older woman, you first have to understand the world he is living in. Modern dating for men in their 22nd and early 32nd is a landscape of chaos. It is filled with games, ghosting, digital facades, and partners who are still trying to figure out who they are. These men are exhausted. They are tired of the influencer culture, the need for constant validation, and the emotional volatility that often comes with dating peers who are still navigating their own growing pains. When a younger man crosses paths with you, he doesn't just see a woman, he sees an oasis. He sees a woman who knows who she is. He sees someone who has already fought her battles, established her boundaries, and created a life she is proud of. To a younger man, this stability is not boring, it is magnetic. It is a gravitational pull that he cannot resist. He isn't approaching you because he wants a mother. He is approaching you because he wants a partner who doesn't need to be raised. He is looking for a woman who offers emotional safety, intellectual depth, and a kind of confidence that only comes with time. This isn't a fetish. It is a rational, biological, and emotional reaction to a woman of high value. He treats you with fascination because in a world of copies, you are the original. You are the reality he has been starving for. The goddess archetype versus the girl next door. Now, let's go deeper into his psychology. When a younger man looks at you, he is not comparing you to the two-year-old girl at the bar. In fact, that comparison doesn't even exist in his mind because you occupy two completely different categories of existence. The younger girl represents potential, but you represent power. In psychology, we often refer to this as the shift from the girl next door to the goddess archetype. The girl next door is cute, she is accessible, but she is also unsure. She requires a lot of reassurance. She is often consumed by insecurity about her appearance, her social standing, and her future. A man dating her often feels like he has to be the captain of a ship that is constantly rocking in a storm. But then he meets you. You are the goddess archetype. You are seasoned. You have a history, a presence, and a weight to your personality that commands respect without you having to say a word. When a younger man treats you with that intense, almost reverent focus, it is because he recognizes he is in the presence of mastery. He treats you differently because the energy you project is different. You aren't asking him, "Do I look okay?" You know you look good. You aren't asking him, "Where is this relationship going?" because you are content with your own life, regardless of whether he stays or goes. This detachment is incredibly intoxicating to men. It flips the script. Instead of him feeling burdened by a woman's neediness, he feels challenged by your independence. He looks at your lines, the laugh lines, the experience in your eyes, and he doesn't see age. He sees texture. He sees a woman who has lived, loved, lost, and survived. That depth is something a younger woman simply cannot buy and cannot fake. He treats you like a prize because, frankly, you are harder to catch. You are not easily impressed. You have standards. And for a man with a hunter instinct, there is nothing more compelling than a woman who requires him to level up just to be in her orbit. He isn't looking for the girl next door anymore. He is looking for the queen. And he has found her in you. Breaking the Cougar stereotype. However, there is a word we need to destroy right now. It is a word that has done more damage to female confidence than perhaps any other: Cougar. I want you to mentally delete this word from your vocabulary. The media uses this term to paint a picture of a predatory older woman, a desperate hunter prowling for fresh meat because she can't get a man her own age. It is a derogatory, cartoonish stereotype designed to shame women for having desires. And the most important thing you need to know is that it is scientifically and psychologically false. In the vast majority of age gap relationships where the woman is older, she is not the one doing the hunting. He is. When we analyze how younger men really treat older women, we see that the man is almost always the pursuer. He is the one initiating the contact. He is the one sliding into the DMs, walking across the room, or lingering at your desk. If you were a cougar, you would be chasing him down. But the reality is, you are simply standing in your light, and he is drawn to it like a moth. Why does this distinction matter? Because how you view yourself dictates how you allow him to treat you. If you secretly believe you are a cougar, you will feel grateful just to be noticed. You will accept scraps of attention. You might feel like you are stealing his youth, or that you are lucky he is even looking at you. This puts you in a low status position. But when you realize that he is the one chasing you, the dynamic corrects itself. You realize that you are the selector. You are the destination. He is not doing you a favor by dating you. He is competing for your time. He treats you with pursuit energy because he knows you have options. So let's reframe this dynamic once and for all. You are not a predator. You are not a cliche. You are a woman in her prime who has become visible to a demographic of men who value substance over surface. He isn't treating you like a cougar. He is treating you like a challenge. And that is exactly where you want him to be. The shame belongs to society, not to you. Your attraction is valid, and his desire is real. The psychology of his pursuit, the hunger for emotional safety. If you could step inside the mind of a single man in his late 20s, you would likely find a surprising amount of anxiety. We often view men as these stoic, unshakable creatures, but the modern dating world leaves them feeling perpetually on edge. When he is dating women his own age, he is often navigating a minefield of unexpressed expectations, volatile emotions, and the pressure to constantly prove his worth. He feels like he is walking on eggshells, waiting for the next conflict to erupt over a missed text message or a misunderstood comment. This is where you come in, and this is the first deep psychological reason he is drawn to you. You represent emotional safety. When a younger man is around you, he physically exhales. You can actually see it in his body language. His shoulders drop, his voice deepens, and his pacing slows down. Why? Because you offer a zero drama zone. He treats you with such attentiveness because you are the sanctuary he retreats to when the noise of the world gets too loud. Psychologically, men gravitate toward the path of least emotional resistance. He knows that if he tells you he had a bad day, you aren't going to make it about yourself. You have the emotional maturity to listen, to offer perspective, or to simply let him be silent. You don't need him to regulate your emotions for you because you have spent years learning how to regulate them yourself. To him, this feels like a superpower. He treats you as a confidant because he feels safe enough to drop the act. With women his age, he often feels he has to maintain a facade of perfection to keep them interested. But with you, he senses that you have seen it all. You understand that people are flawed, that days are hard, and that life is messy. This creates a dynamic where he becomes addicted to your presence. It is not just about attraction, it is about his nervous system. Being near you calms him down. He starts to crave your company, not just for the excitement, but for the peace. He realizes that a relationship doesn't have to be a battleground, it can be a place of rest. So when you wonder, what does he see in me? Realize that he sees a harbor in the storm. He sees a woman who isn't going to play games with his head. He treats you with respect because you provide the one thing money cannot buy and youth cannot guarantee peace of mind. He isn't just pursuing a lover, he is pursuing his own sanity, and he has found it in your stability, the initiation, fantasy. Now, let's move from the emotional to the primal. There is a deeply rooted psychological drive in many younger men that is rarely spoken about in polite conversation, but it is the engine behind his intense attraction to you. It is called the initiation fantasy. For centuries, across almost every culture, there has been a tradition of the younger man being taught by the wiser, more experienced woman. This archetype is buried deep in the male psyche. He doesn't just want to sleep with you, he wants to be initiated by you. When he looks at you, he sees a woman who knows her body. He sees a woman who is not fumbling in the dark, giggling out of nervousness, or apologizing for her desires. He sees a woman who owns her pleasure. This is incredibly erotic to him. He treats you with a mix of hunger and reverence because, in his eyes, you hold the keys to a world he is still trying to unlock. He wants to impress you, yes, but more than that, he wants to be guided by you. He wants to know if he has what it takes to satisfy a woman who has been there and done that. This dynamic removes a massive weight from his shoulders, performance anxiety. With younger women, he often feels he has to be the teacher, the leader, and the expert roles he may not be ready for yet. It is exhausting to constantly pretend you know what you are doing. But with you, the pressure flips. He knows you are the expert. This allows him to surrender to the experience. He becomes more attentive, more eager to please, and more willing to listen to your body. He treats you like a study in pleasure. He watches your reactions more closely because he values your feedback. There is also the thrill of the test. A younger man knows that you have likely been with men who were more established, more experienced, or more successful than he is right now. If you choose him, it is the ultimate ego boost. It validates his masculinity in a way that a girl his own age cannot. If a 2-2-year-old thinks he is great in bed, it's nice. But if a 4-5-year-old woman who knows exactly what she wants thinks he is great in bed, that makes him feel like a king. So do not hide your experience. Do not dim your light or pretend to be shy to make him feel more dominant. He craves your confidence. He wants you to take the lead, to show him the ropes, and to initiate him into a deeper, more profound level of intimacy. Your history is not baggage to him. It is his curriculum, and he is eager to learn. Why he craves your independence. The third psychological pillar of his pursuit is perhaps the most practical, yet it is often the one women feel most insecure about. Many women worry that their busy lives, their careers, their children, their aging parents, their hobbies will scare a man away. You might think, I don't have enough time for him, or my life is too complicated. But here is the secret. He loves your independence. In fact, he craves it. You have to remember where he is in his life cycle. A man in his late 20s or 30s is often in the building phase. He is trying to establish his career, figure out his finances, and build his legacy. He is hungry, he is ambitious, and he is often stretched thin. The last thing he wants is a partner who needs to be entertained 24/7. He is terrified of the clingy girlfriend who falls apart if he has to work late or who demands that he be her sole source of happiness and financial support. That kind of pressure can crush a younger man who is still finding his footing. Then he meets you. You have a mortgage, you have a career, you have friends you've known for 20 years, you have a life that runs perfectly fine without him. To him, this is the ultimate luxury. He treats you with admiration because you are not looking for a savior, you are looking for a companion. He knows that you are with him because you want to be, not because you need someone to pay your rent or validate your existence. This independence creates a powerful magnetic polarity. Because you are not always available, his hunter instinct stays activated. He has to schedule time with you. He has to work around your life. This keeps him on his toes. He values the time he gets with you more because he knows it is a scarce resource. He treats your independence as an asset, not a liability. It allows him the freedom to pursue his own goals without guilt. He can go grind at his job for 12 hours, knowing that you aren't at home crying, you're out living your own fabulous life. And when you two do come together, it is two whole, complete individuals sharing their time rather than two half people trying to complete each other. So stop apologizing for your busy schedule. Stop worrying that your life is too full. Your fullness is exactly why he is chasing you. He looks at your life and sees a completed puzzle, and he just wants to be the piece that fits into the fun part, not the table that holds the whole thing up. He wants a partner, not a dependent, and you are the embodiment of that freedom. Inside the bedroom, intimacy and connection. The appreciation factor We are now approaching the most vulnerable threshold of the relationship, the moment the clothes come off. For many women over 35, 40, or 50, this moment is fraught with a specific kind of mental noise. You might find yourself running a harsh internal commentary, cataloging every stretch mark, every softer area, and every sign of gravity. You worry that when the lights go down, he is going to compare you to the airbrushed images of women his own age that flood his social media feed. You worry that the reality of a mature body will break the spell of his attraction. I want you to listen to me very closely, because I am about to tell you the absolute truth about how a younger man views your body. This is not just reassurance, this is male psychology. When a younger man is intimate with an older woman, he is not looking for perfection, he is looking for reality. There is a strange phenomenon that happens in dating. Often men your own age, men in their 50 seconds or 60 seconds, can be the harshest critics. They are sometimes wrestling with their own aging, and they project that insecurity onto you, looking for flaws. But a younger man, he does not have that baggage. He looks at your body with a sense of wonder and genuine enthusiasm. He isn't scanning you for imperfections. He is overwhelmed by the fact that a woman of your stature, your class, and your power has allowed him access to her most private self. He treats your body not as something to be critiqued, but as something to be worshipped. You have to understand his perspective. To him, the softness of your skin, the curve of your hips, and the way you carry yourself are incredibly feminine. Younger women often have a harder, more athletic, or constructed look that can feel almost artificial to touch. But a mature woman feels like a woman. He finds the naturalness of your body incredibly arousing. He treats every inch of you with a level of focus that might surprise you. Where you see a stretch mark, he sees the map of a life lived. Where you see softness, he sees comfort and sensuality. His desire is often much more raw and unfiltered than what you might be used to. He isn't trying to change you. He is just happy to be there. This appreciation factor is potent. It changes the energy in the room. When you realize that he isn't judging you, that he is actually in awe of you, it allows you to shut off that critical inner voice. And when you shut off that voice, you become fully present. You stop hiding. You stop trying to manipulate the lighting or cover yourself with a sheet. You let him look at you, and that confidence, that willingness to be seen in your natural state, that is the hook that sinks into him. He feels privileged to be the one witnessing you. So release the fear that your body isn't enough. To a younger man with a hunger for real femininity, your body is exactly what he has been dreaming about. He doesn't want a plastic doll. He wants a living, breathing, real woman, and he treats you with the adoration you deserve. The performance anxiety relief? Now let's flip the lens and look at what is happening inside his head during intimacy. While you are worrying about your appearance, he is battling a demon of his own, performance anxiety. In the modern world, men are under immense pressure to perform like machines. Pornography and pop culture have created unrealistic standards of stamina, size, and technique. When a younger man is with a woman his own age, this anxiety can be crippling. He feels he is being graded. He worries that if he doesn't last long enough, or if he doesn't know the perfect move, she will text her friends about it the next morning. He is often so in his head, worrying about the mechanics of sex, that he cannot actually enjoy the connection. This is where you change his life. How does a younger man treat an older woman in bed? He treats her like a guide who allows him to finally relax. Because you are experienced and because you are confident, you do not need him to guess what you want. You are comfortable saying, "I like this," or "slow down," or "move here." This direct communication is the greatest gift you can give a man. It takes the guesswork out of the equation. When he realizes that you are not there to judge his performance, but to share an experience with him, his anxiety evaporates. He stops trying to perform and starts trying to connect. Psychologically, this has a profound physical effect. When a man's stress levels drop, his physical performance actually improves. He becomes more present, his stamina increases, and he becomes more attuned to your rhythm. He treats you with a mix of gratitude and passion because you have created a safe container for his sexuality. He also discovers that he doesn't have to carry the entire burden of the encounter. In relationships with younger, less experienced women, the man often feels he has to be the director, the producer, and the star of the show. It is exhausting. But with you, he can sometimes sit back and let you take the lead. He loves that you know what you are doing. He loves that you can take control. This creates a dynamic of mutual relief. You are relieved because he is enthusiastic and eager to please. Younger men often have a higher drive and a genuine desire to prove themselves. He is relieved because he doesn't have to be a mind reader. He treats you as a partner in pleasure, not a judge. He feels that he can be vulnerable with you. He can tell you what he likes, something he might be too embarrassed to share with a peer. You unlock a side of his sexuality that has been dormant because he was too afraid to show it. In your bed, he finds the freedom to be his true sexual self, and that freedom is addictive. He keeps coming back, not just because the sex is good, but because the feeling of being with you is liberating. The art of slowing down. The third element of intimacy between a younger man and an older woman is the transformation of time. Biology and youth often dictate speed. A younger man's natural instinct is to rush. His energy is high, his hormones are surging, and his previous experiences may have been focused on getting to the finish line as quickly as possible. For many men, in their 20 seconds, sex is a race. It is transactional. It is about the release. But you know something he doesn't know yet. You know that the magic is in the build-up. You know that intimacy is like a fine wine that needs to breathe, not a shot of tequila to be downed in one gulp. One of the most beautiful ways a younger man treats an older woman is as a student of the slow burn. You teach him the art of slowing down. This doesn't happen through lectures. It happens through your energy. When he tries to rush, you gently slow him down. You use your hands to steady him. You control the breathing. You prioritize eye contact. You show him that the touch on the arm, the kiss on the neck, and the whisper in the ear are just as electric as the main event. At first, this might confuse him. He is used to fast food intimacy, but very quickly, he becomes intoxicated by this new pace. He realizes that by slowing down, the sensations are magnified 10 times over. He discovers layers of pleasure he didn't know existed. He treats you with a new kind of patience. You will notice him starting to mimic your rhythm. He stops checking the mental clock. He starts to linger. He starts to appreciate the texture of your skin, the scent of your hair, the silence between the movements. This is where the boy becomes a man who understands that a woman's pleasure is a landscape to be explored, not a destination to be conquered. He credits you for this discovery. He looks at you with a sense of awe because you have opened his eyes to a sophisticated level of intimacy that he simply cannot get from women his own age who are also rushing. He treats you as the standard bearer of quality. After being with you, quick and easy loses its appeal for him. He craves the depth, the slowness, and the intensity that only you can provide. He treats the time you spend together as sacred because you have taught him that the true luxury in life is not rushing the moment, but savoring it. You are his masterclass in connection, and he is a devoted student. The emotional and intellectual bond, mentorship versus partnership. We have established the physical attraction, but now we must navigate the trickiest part of this dynamic, the intellectual power balance. One of the greatest fears women have when dating a younger man is the fear of becoming a mother figure. You worry that if you offer too much guidance, or if you take charge too often, the romance will die and be replaced by a caretaking dynamic. This is a valid fear, but if you navigate it correctly, the reality is quite the opposite. When a younger man falls for an older woman, he treats her not as a mother, but as a muse. There is a distinct difference between raising a man and inspiring him. He does not want you to remind him to brush his teeth, pay his bills, or fold his laundry. That is mum energy, and it is the fastest way to kill libido. But he does crave your wisdom. He craves your perspective on the world because he knows you have seen the movie he is currently living in. He treats you as a strategic partner. You will notice that he brings his problems to you, work conflicts, life decisions, social dilemmas. He isn't looking for you to solve them for him. He is looking for you to help him see the angles he is missing. When you speak, he listens with an intensity that you rarely get from men your own age, who often think they already know everything. He values your course correction. Because you are established, you have a BS detector that is highly calibrated. When he is spinning his wheels or chasing the wrong goals, you have the ability to gently point him in the right direction. He treats your advice like gold because he trusts your experience. The key to keeping this sexy is to offer your wisdom as a gift, not a command. You are the queen whispering in the king's ear, not the parent scolding the child. When you maintain this frame, he treats you with a profound intellectual respect. He feels smarter just by being around you. He feels that with you on his team, he has an unfair advantage over other men his age. He isn't looking for a mummy. He is looking for a co-pilot who knows how to fly the plane, the conversation high. Let's talk about what happens when you are sitting across from each other at dinner. For many younger men, the dating scene is a desert of superficial conversation. It is often dominated by social media trends, gossip, and fleeting pop culture references. While that can be fun in small doses, many men, especially high-value, intelligent men, are starving for substance. This is where you become his drug of choice. He treats you as his intellectual equal and often his superior. He loves that he doesn't have to dumb it down for you. He loves that you can talk about politics, history, art, finance, and the nuances of human psychology. He treats your mind as a playground. You will find that he asks you more questions than you are used to. He wants to know what you think about the world because he genuinely respects your worldview. This is the conversation high. It is the dopamine rush he gets when he realizes he can talk to you for 4 hours and never get bored. With women his age, he often feels the burden of carrying the conversation, of having to be the entertainer. With you, it is a tennis match. You hit the ball back, you challenge his ideas, you introduce him to concepts he hasn't encountered yet. He treats you with a level of engagement that is rare. He puts his phone away. He leans in. He remembers the details of what you said 3 weeks ago. Why? Because you are stimulating his brain in a way that is incredibly erotic. Don't underestimate this. For a man, being understood is a form of intimacy. When you can articulate feelings or ideas that he has been struggling to find words for, he bonds to you. He sees you as a woman of depth. He isn't just physically attracted to you. He is intellectually captivated. He knows that if he leaves, he goes back to the desert of small talk, and he is not willing to give up the oasis of deep conversation he has found with you. Vulnerability and the mask. Finally, we must look at the emotional armor men wear. Society teaches men from a very young age to wear a mask. They must be stoic, they must be successful, and they must never show weakness. When a younger man is around his peers, and especially around younger women, he is trying to impress. That mask is welded tight. He feels he has to present a curated version of himself, the man who has it all figured out. But you have X-ray vision. You have lived long enough to know that nobody has it all figured out. And because he knows you know this, he feels safe enough to take the mask off. He treats you as his confessional. This is one of the most tender aspects of the age gap dynamic. He will tell you things he would never tell his friends or a girlfriend his own age. He will share his fears about failing, his anxieties about the future, and his doubts about himself. He does this because he knows you aren't going to panic. If he shows weakness to a younger woman, he fears she might lose attraction or freak out because she needs him to be her rock. But he knows you are your own rock. You don't need him to be perfect. This acceptance allows him to be vulnerable. He treats you with a raw emotional honesty that creates a bond stronger than steel. He might cry in front of you. He might admit he's scared. And when you respond with empathy rather than judgment, he looks at you as the only person in the world who truly knows him. This vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of trust. He is entrusting you with his true self. He treats you as the keeper of his secrets. This is why these relationships often move so fast and feel so intense, because you have bypassed the superficial getting to know you phase and gone straight to the soul. He isn't hiding from you. And that freedom to be authentic is the greatest gift you give him. The mummy issues trap, distinguishing adoration from dependency. We have spent the last 4 chapters discussing the beauty, passion, and psychological depth of the age gap relationship. And everything we have discussed is real. But now, as your guide and your friend, I need to pull up a chair, look you in the eye, and have a very serious conversation about the shadow side of this dynamic. Because you are established, stable, and nurturing, you are a magnet for high-value men who crave peace. But you are also a magnet for low-value men who are looking for a caretaker. We call this the mummy issues trap. And knowing the difference between a man who adores you and a man who depends on you is the single most important skill you need to master. So, how does a man with dependency issues treat you? He treats you like a resource, not a partner. In the beginning, it can look very similar to love. He calls you constantly. He wants to be around you all the time. He tells you that nobody understands him like you do, but if you look closer, you will notice a pattern. He is always in a crisis, and you are always the solution. Does he call you to celebrate his wins, or does he only call you to vent about his losses? Does he come to you for advice that he implements, or does he come to you to fix his messes? A healthy younger man treats you as his muse. You inspire him to go out into the world and conquer it. A dependent man treats you as his safety net. He hides behind you to avoid facing the world. Pay attention to your energy levels. After you spend time with him, do you feel energized and appreciated? Or do you feel drained, heavy, and responsible? If you feel like you are managing him, reminding him of appointments, helping him smooth over conflicts with his boss, or emotionally regulating him constantly, he is not treating you like his lover. He is treating you like his mother. This is a trap because it feels good to be needed. It feeds our nurturing instinct. But be careful. A man who needs you to survive cannot truly desire you. Desire requires a gap. It requires 2 whole individuals. If he merges with you because he cannot stand on his own 2 feet, the sexual chemistry will eventually die, and you will be left with a grown child. You want a man who wants you, not a man who needs to be saved by you. The Peter Pan syndrome, there is a specific archetype of a younger man who loves older women, and you must spot him immediately. He is charming, he is fun, he is often very good looking, and he brings a whirlwind of excitement into your life. He is Peter Pan, the boy who refuses to grow up. Peter Pan is not looking for a wife, he is looking for a soft place to land. He often gravitates toward older women because women his own age are starting to demand commitment, marriage, and career stability, things he is terrified of. You, with your established life and your go-with-the-flow confidence, seem like the perfect escape from those pressures. How does he treat you? He treats you like a vacation from adulthood. He loves your nice house, your stocked fridge, and your comfortable lifestyle. He loves that. You don't pressure him about where his career is going, but notice how he treats conflict or responsibility. When things get real, does he disappear? When you try to have a serious conversation about the relationship, does he deflect with a joke or accuse you of ruining the vibe? Peter Pan treats you with a surface-level affection that feels great in the moment but lacks any structural integrity. He is often in between jobs or working on a project that never seems to launch. He relies on your stability to subsidize his lack of direction. The danger here is that he wastes your time. He will consume your best years, your most vibrant, beautiful years playing house with you, only to leave when he finally decides to grow up, or worse, stay forever and drain your resources. You can spot him by his reaction to your boundaries. A high-value younger man respects your standards because he wants to rise to meet them. Peter Pan resents your standards because they feel like rules, and he is allergic to rules. He wants the benefits of your maturity without the responsibility of his own. If he treats your life like a playground rather than a partnership, it is time to close the park. Financial boundaries. This brings us to the most unsexy, yet most critical topic, money. In an age gap relationship, it is very common for the woman to be more financially established than the man. You have had 10, maybe 20 more years to build your career, buy property, and invest. He is likely just starting out. There is nothing inherently wrong with this income disparity. In fact, it can be perfectly healthy. But you must watch closely how he treats your wallet versus how he treats his own. A man of integrity, even if he makes significantly less money than you, will never make you feel like you are paying for his life. He will fight for the check, even if he can only afford the appetizer. He will contribute in other ways, fixing things around your house, planning dates that fit his budget, or simply showing immense gratitude when you do treat him. He treats your success with admiration, not entitlement. The red flag appears when a man starts treating your money as our money before he has earned that right. Does he conveniently forget his wallet? Does he suggest expensive trips or restaurants that he knows only you can afford, assuming you will pick up the tab? Does he make jokes about you being his sugar mama? Note, a man who respects you will never call you this, even as a joke. It is a devaluing term that reduces you to an ATM. Be wary of the man who asks for loans early in the relationship. Be wary of the man who moves into your house too quickly because his lease is up and he doesn't want to be apart from you. These are signs of financial exploitation. He should treat your hard-earned success as something to be protected, not consumed. If he gets too comfortable with your luxury, he stops being a partner and starts being a dependent. The rule of thumb is this: a man in his masculine energy wants to provide. Even if he cannot provide millions, he wants to provide something. He wants to feel useful. If he is comfortable sitting back and letting you pay for his existence, he has mentally placed you in the role of provider, which kills sexual polarity. You have worked hard for your life. You deserve a man who wants you for you, not for the lifestyle you provide. Protect your assets, and by doing so, you protect your heart. A man who is truly into you won't care if you lock your wallet. He'll just be happy to hold your hand. Navigating the outside world, handling the stare and public judgment. We have built a beautiful, safe cocoon inside your home. In private, the chemistry is electric, the conversation is deep, and the connection feels undeniable. But eventually, you have to open the front door. You have to walk into a restaurant, a party, or a grocery store, and you have to face the world. For many women, this is where the anxiety spikes. You feel the eyes on you. You see the heads turn. You imagine the whispers at the next table. Is that his mother? Is that his sugar mama? This fear of public judgment is the number one reason older women end perfectly happy relationships with younger men. They let the opinions of strangers dictate their happiness. So how does a confident younger man treat this situation? And more importantly, how should you treat it? When you walk into a room with him, you need to adopt the us against the world mentality. Watch his body language. A man who is truly into you does not walk 3 feet ahead of you. He does not scan the room nervously. He claims you. He treats you with public pride. He puts his hand on the small of your back. He holds your hand. He looks at you, not at the people looking at you. When he does this, he is creating a force field. He is signaling to the room, I am with her and I am proud of it. Your job is to match that energy. If you shrink, look down, or pull away from his touch because you are self-conscious, you insult him. You are essentially telling him that you are ashamed to be seen with him. Here is the psychological reframe you need. People aren't staring because they are disgusted. They are staring because they are confused. And often they are jealous. They are seeing a dynamic they don't understand. They see a young, vibrant man completely captivated by a woman with silver in her hair or lines on her face, and it breaks their programming. It forces them to question their own relationships. The older man sitting with a disconnected wife looks at your younger man and feels envy. The younger girl who can't get a text back looks at you and wonders what magic you possess. So handle the stare by owning it. Wear your age like a crown. When you catch someone looking, smile at them. Do not apologize for your happiness. If he treats you like the prize in public, believe him. The moment you stop caring about the audience is the moment you become the star of the show. Meeting the friends and family. If the relationship progresses, you will eventually face 2 major hurdles: meeting his friends and meeting his family. These are the gatekeepers of his life, and navigating them requires a specific social strategy. First, let's talk about his friends. You might be terrified of hanging out with a group of 2 8-year-olds, fearing you'll have nothing in common or that they will mock you. But here is the secret. Do not try to be one of them. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to act younger than you are. Do not use their slang. Do not try to dress like a teenager. Do not try to keep up with their drinking or their partying if it's not your vibe. He loves you because you are different from them. He loves your maturity. So be the cool, established woman that you are. Treat his friends with kindness, but maintain your frame. You are the cool aunt energy, not the desperate peer. When you are confident in your own skin, his friends will actually look up to him. They will think, wow, how did he land her? They will admire his ability to secure a woman who has her life together. Then there is the family, specifically his mother. This can be tricky. You might be the same age as his mother, or close to it. This can trigger instinctual protectiveness in her. How does he treat this interaction? A high-value man prepares the ground. He defends you before you even walk in the door. He tells his parents, I am bringing someone special, and I expect you to treat her with respect. When you meet them, be gracious. Do not apologize for your age. Engage them as peers. You have a distinct advantage here. You are an adult. You can talk to his parents about real estate, politics, and life in a way a younger girlfriend never could. Use that, bridge the gap through intellectual connection. If his family is judgmental, watch how he reacts. Does he defend you? Does he hold your hand under the table? Or does he let them make snide comments? His loyalty in this moment is the ultimate test. If he stands by you against his own tribe, he is a keeper. If he crumbles, he isn't ready for a woman of your caliber. The clock conversation. Finally, we must discuss the most difficult conversation of all, the future. In an age gap relationship, biology is a reality we cannot ignore. He might be 30 wanting children in 5 years. You might be 45 or 50 with children who are already in college, and you have zero desire or ability to start over with diapers and sleepless nights. Or perhaps you are open to it, but the timeline is tight. You cannot just go with the flow on this issue forever. You owe it to him and to yourself to have the clock conversation. How he treats this conversation tells you everything about his maturity. A boy will avoid the topic. He will say, let's just have fun. Why are you making it so serious? He wants to ignore reality because he doesn't want the party to end. A man will look you in the eye and have a realistic discussion. You need to be brave enough to say, I care about you, but we need to be honest. I am done having children. If that is a deal breaker for you, I respect that, but I need to know this is terrifying because you risk losing him, but the alternative is worse. Wasting 3 years, falling deeper in love, only to have him wake up at 35, realizing he needs to leave you to start a family. Watch how he responds. Some younger men are actively choosing not to have children. They value freedom, travel, and career, and your life stage matches theirs perfectly. For them, your lack of fertility is actually a plus, not a minus. Others might be unsure. If he says, I don't know, believe him, proceed with caution. But if he says, I choose you, I know what I am giving up, and you are worth more to me than a hypothetical future, accept that gift, trust him. Men are capable of making sacrifices for love. Do not patronize him by saying, you'll regret it one day. Treat him like an adult capable of making his own life decisions. If he chooses you, let him choose you. But have the conversation now, in the light of day, so you aren't blindsided in the dark later. The energy exchange, why he stays. He feeds off your clarity. We often talk about relationships in terms of love, sex, or money. But if you want to understand the true glue that holds an older woman and a younger man together, you have to look at the invisible currency of the relationship, energy. There is a specific energetic dynamic that happens when a man in his building phase meets a woman in her established phase. To put it simply, he is often a storm, and you are the anchor. A younger man's life is frequently characterized by chaos. He is trying to figure out his career path, navigating shifting social circles, and dealing with the immense pressure to become someone. His mind is often cluttered with noise, doubt, and the frantic energy of the hustle. When he dates women his own age, that chaos is often amplified because they are in the exact same boat, dealing with the same anxieties and the same unsettled energy. Then he walks into your home, he walks into your presence, and everything stops. He treats you with a kind of desperate gratitude because you offer him clarity. You are not frantic. You are not wondering who you are. You are not spiraling over small things. You have a clarity of mind that acts as a tuning fork for his own vibration. Psychologically, he feeds off this stability. This isn't parasitic, it is symbiotic. When he is around you, his racing thoughts slow down. He can think clearly, he can strategize. He treats you as his grounding wire. You will notice that he often comes to you when he is overwhelmed, not just to vent, but to just be near you. He knows that your nervous system is regulated, and by proximity, yours regulates his. He stays because you help him focus. In a world of distraction, you represent a singular, calm point of reference. He treats your opinion as the final word because it comes from a place of wisdom, not panic. This is why he often says things like, "You keep me sane," or "I feel like a better man around you." He isn't just flattering you, he is describing a physiological shift. You provide the containment for his raw, masculine energy. Without you, he feels scattered. With you, he feels directed. He stays because you make him feel like he can conquer the world, simply because you have given him a calm place to stand while he does it. You force him to level up. If the first reason he stays is for peace, the second reason is for power. There is a misconception that men want easy women. While they might want easy access to sex, high-value men do not want an easy partner. They want a challenge. They want to be tested. And nothing tests a young man quite like a woman who has her life together. When a younger man dates you, he immediately realizes that his usual tricks won't work. You aren't impressed by a rented car or big talk about future plans. You are impressed by action. You are impressed by consistency. You are impressed by integrity. Because your standards are higher, he is forced to level up to meet them. He treats you as the bar he must jump over. This is incredibly healthy for his masculine development. He knows he cannot bring boy energy into your world. He cannot play games, he cannot be flaky, and he cannot be lazy, because he knows you will simply delete him from your life. You don't need him, so he has to work to make you want him. He treats you with a strive-based energy. You will see him working harder at his job. You will see him dressing better. You will see him reading more books so he can keep up with your conversation. He is evolving at a rapid pace because he wants to be worthy of you. He stays because he likes the man he is becoming in your reflection. When he is with women his own age, he might be able to get away with doing the bare minimum. He can slide by on potential. But with you, he has to deliver results. He treats the relationship as a catalyst for his own success. He looks at your life, your home, your career, your emotional intelligence, and he sees a blueprint. He wants to rise to your level. This dynamic is addictive to a man with ambition. He feels that you are his secret weapon. While his friends are dating women who bring drama and distraction, he is dating a woman who brings focus and elevation. He treats you with respect because he knows that being with you makes him sharper, stronger, and more capable. He isn't just dating you, he is actively growing because of you. And a man will never leave a woman who makes him feel like a king in the making. The youthful infusion for you. We have talked a lot about what he gets from you, but an energy exchange must go both ways. If he gets clarity and elevation, what do you get? Why do you stay? You get the youthful infusion. Let's be honest, men your own age can sometimes be heavy. They can be set in their ways, cynical, tired, or carrying the baggage of 3 divorces and a bitter attitude toward women. Dating them can sometimes feel like a job interview or a therapy session. But a younger man, he brings the spark back. He treats you to a world of spontaneity. He hasn't been beaten down by life yet. He still has optimism. He still has a sense of adventure. He wants to try new restaurants, go on road trips, and stay up late. He treats you not as a mother or a companion, but as a playmate. This energy is vitalizing for you. It reminds you that you are not done. It reminds you that you are still vibrant, sexual, and alive. He looks at you with fresh eyes, and in doing so, he helps you see yourself with fresh eyes. He treats you with a playfulness that melts away your cynicism. You find yourself laughing more. You find yourself doing things you haven't done in 20 years. You stop worrying so much about the 401k and start thinking about the weekend. This isn't about you trying to be 25 again. It's about you accessing the part of yourself that is ageless. He stays because he loves your wisdom, but you stay because he loves your wildness. He treats you as a sexual being, not a roommate. He brings a physical vitality to the bedroom and to your daily life that is undeniable. This infusion of energy affects your health, your mood, and your confidence. You walk taller, you smile more, you feel a surge of feminine power because you are being pursued by vitality itself. The exchange is fair. You give him roots, he gives you wings. You give him the map, he gives you the fuel. It is a perfect energetic circle where both of you are getting exactly what you need at this stage of your lives. He stays because he needs your ground, and you stay because you enjoy his sky. Together, you create a balance that is very hard to find in a same-age relationship. Signs he is serious. He integrates you into his future. We are now deep into the relationship, and a question inevitably forms in the back of your mind. It is a quiet, nagging question that keeps you awake at 2 a.m. Is this just a phase for him? You know, the chemistry is real. You know, the connection is deep. But you also know that younger men can sometimes treat older women as a pit stop, a comfortable, exciting place to rest before they move on to build a real life with someone their own age. So how do you tell the difference? How does a younger man treat you when he sees you as the destination, not just the journey? The first and most undeniable sign is integration. A man who is just having fun will keep your life and his life completely separate. He treats you like a secret garden. He comes to your house, he enjoys your company, but he never invites you into his world. He keeps you in a silo. You are his Tuesday night, not his everyday. But a man who is serious treats you like a fixture in his future. Listen closely to his pronouns. Does he switch from I to we? When he talks about a wedding he has to attend 3 months from now, does he assume you are coming? Does he say, we should check out that festival next summer, or we need to buy tickets for this concert? This verbal shift is profound. It means he has mentally projected you into his timeline. He's not worried about you aging out of his life. He is worried about securing you in his life. Furthermore, watch how he treats your visibility. A man who is serious wants to show you off. He integrates you into his social media, if that's his thing. He brings you to the company holiday party. He introduces you to his mentor. He treats you as a status symbol, not a dirty secret. He wants the world to know that he is the one who captured your attention. If he is constantly making excuses for why you can't meet his circle, oh, they're just immature, you wouldn't like them, he is likely compartmentalizing you. But if he insists on bringing you into spaces where he lives and works, he is staking a claim. He is signaling to you and to the world that he is proud of this relationship. He isn't waiting for something better or younger to come along. He has found quality and he is locking it down. When he starts planning his life around your schedule, rather than just fitting you into the cracks of his spare time, he has crossed the line from having fun to building a future. He protects you. The second major sign is the activation of his protective instinct. This can be a confusing dynamic in an age gap relationship because, let's be honest, you are likely the one with more resources. You might have the house with the alarm system. You might have the financial safety net. You are a strong, independent woman who has taken care of herself for decades. You don't need a protector in the traditional sense. But a man who loves you will try to protect you anyway. How he treats your vulnerability is the ultimate litmus test. A boy who is just looking for a mummy wants you to protect him. He wants you to shield him from the harsh realities of the world. But a man who is serious wants to shield you. You will notice this in small physical ways. He treats you with traditional chivalry. He walks on the street side of the sidewalk. He checks the locks before you go to bed. He drives when it's raining. He steps in front of you when you are in a crowded bar. He knows you can handle yourself, but he wants you to know that you don't have to. But the deeper protection is emotional. How does he treat your reputation? If someone makes a snide comment about the age gap, does he laugh it off nervously or does he shut it down? A serious man defends your name when you aren't in the room. He protects your dignity. If his friends make a joke, he corrects them immediately. He makes it clear that disrespecting you is the quickest way to lose access to him. He also protects your peace. If he sees you are stressed with work or family issues, he steps up. He treats your problems as his problems. He might say, "Let me handle dinner tonight," or "I'll fix that leaking faucet so you don't have to call the plumber." He is trying to prove his utility. In his mind, he might not be able to match your bank account yet, but he can match your energy with his service. He wants to be useful to you. He wants to be the wall you lean on. If he treats you like you are invincible and never asks if you need help, he sees you as a convenience. But if he treats you like a precious object that he is responsible for safeguarding, he is deeply invested. He is telling you that despite the years between you, in his heart, he is the man and he has got you covered. He seeks your advice. The third sign is perhaps the most intellectual, but it cuts the deepest. He stops treating you just as a lover and starts treating you as his counsel. Men are notoriously stubborn about asking for directions, both on the road and in life. They often view asking for help as a sign of weakness. They prefer to struggle in silence rather than admit they don't have the answer. However, when a man respects a woman deeply, he submits his ego to her wisdom. If he is just having fun, he will keep his conversations with you light. He will talk about movies, music, sex, and food. He won't burden you with his real dilemmas because he doesn't value your input on them, or he doesn't want you to see his cracks. But when he gets serious, he starts to bring you his heavy lifting. He treats you as his strategic advisor. He will sit you down and say, "I have this situation at work with my boss, and I don't know how to handle it. What do you think?" Or, "I'm thinking about making this investment. Can I run it by you?" This is a massive gesture of submission and respect. He is acknowledging your superior experience. He is saying, "You have lived longer than me. You know things I don't know. Guide me." He seeks your advice because he trusts your character. He knows you aren't going to steer him wrong. He treats your word as law. You will notice that if you give him advice on Tuesday, he comes back on Friday and says, "I did what you said and it worked." This transition from fun girlfriend to trusted confidant is the bridge to long-term commitment. It means he cannot imagine navigating his life without your perspective. He relies on your brain just as much as he desires your body. He treats you as a teammate. He stops making unilateral decisions. He starts factoring in your opinion before he acts. This is the definition of partnership. He isn't looking for a mother to tell him what to do. He is looking for a queen to help him rule his kingdom. If he is constantly auditing your mind for wisdom, he is planning to keep you around for a very long time. He knows that beauty may change, but wisdom is a permanent asset, and he is investing in it. How to sustain the attraction long term? Never apologize for your age. We are now moving into the maintenance phase. Getting a younger man is one thing, keeping him attracted for the long haul is another. And the very first rule of sustaining this attraction is a mindset shift that you must adopt immediately. Stop apologizing for who you are. The single biggest attraction killer in an age gap relationship is not the wrinkles on your face, it is the insecurity in your voice. Far too many women fall into the trap of self-deprecation. You might think you are being funny or humble when you say things like, "Oh, I'm too old for that club," or "You don't want to be seen with a dinosaur like me," or "I need my beauty sleep," or "I'll look 100 tomorrow." You might think these are harmless jokes, but psychologically, you are doing something dangerous. You are highlighting the problem. You are telling him repeatedly that he should be bothered by your age. You are projecting your own insecurity onto him until he starts to believe it. If you treat your age like a defect, he will eventually treat it like a defect. But if you treat your age like a badge of honor, he will treat it like a prize. You must remember a fundamental truth. He chose you. He walked past the two 2-year-olds and the two 5-year-olds to get to you. He knows how old you are. He has eyes. By constantly apologizing for it or pointing it out, you are essentially insulting his taste. You are questioning his judgment. Sustaining attraction requires you to own your timeline. If he suggests a hiking trip, don't say, my old knees can't take it. Say, I'd love to, let's go. And if you physically can't, just say you prefer something else. Don't blame the number. He treats you with respect when you carry yourself with a timeless quality. A high-value woman does not seek reassurance about her age. She assumes she is desirable because she is desirable. When you stop making it an issue, it ceases to be an issue. He isn't thinking about the year you were born. He is thinking about the way you make him feel. So banish the apologies. If you act like the queen, he will never wish for a princess. Keep your mystery. The second key to long-term attraction is the preservation of mystery. In relationships where the woman is older, there is a tendency to over-give. Because you are established, capable, and nurturing, you might naturally slide into the role of the open book. You want to share everything with him. You want to cook for him, clean for him, and solve his problems. You merge your life with his completely because you love him. But be careful, if you become too available, you become boring. A younger man's desire is fueled by the chase. Even 5 years into a relationship, he needs to feel that he hasn't fully conquered you yet. He needs to feel that there are still parts of you that are just for you. He treats you with fascination when you maintain your own world. Do not give up your girls' nights. Do not give up your solo hobbies. Do not answer his texts within 3 seconds every single time. Maintain a life that exists outside of him. When you are too accessible, you risk becoming furniture, comfortable, reliable, but overlooked. You want to remain art, something he stops to admire. This means you shouldn't overshare every single insecurity or bodily function. Keep the bathroom door closed. Don't tell him every detail of your menopause symptoms unless it's necessary for health reasons. Keep a little bit of the goddess veil intact. He treats you with a higher level of romantic interest when he realizes that you are not just sitting at home waiting for him. When you say, I can't see you Tuesday, I have that art class, it triggers his pursuit instinct. He realizes he has to compete for your time. Mystery also means emotional containment. You don't need to dump every thought on him. Let him wonder what you are thinking sometimes. Let him ask you. If he feels like he knows everything there is to know about you, the tension dies. But if he feels like he is still peeling back the layers of a complex, fascinating woman, he will stay engaged. He treats you like a puzzle he never wants to finish solving. Keep him guessing, and you keep him hooked. Allow him to lead. The final pillar of sustaining attraction is perhaps the hardest for successful independent women: surrendering control. Let's be honest. You are probably better at planning than he is. You are likely more organized, more financially savvy, and more efficient. You have been running a household or a business for years. It is very easy for you to look at him and say, move over, I'll do it. You're doing it wrong. You might think you are being helpful, but he hears, I don't trust you. You are incompetent. If you manage the relationship, you kill the polarity. You become his boss, his mother, or his manager. And men do not want to sleep with their managers. To keep the spark alive long term, you must allow him to lead, even if he stumbles. He treats you as a feminine partner only when he is allowed to be the masculine partner. This means you have to sit on your hands sometimes. Let him plan the date, even if the restaurant isn't the one you would have picked. Let him drive, even if he takes the long way. Let him fix the problem, even if it takes him 2 hours instead of the 10 minutes it would take you to call a pro. When you step back, you create a vacuum that he has to step into. He wants to feel needed, not in a mummy tie my shoes way, but in a my woman trusts me to handle this way. When you allow him to lead, you are validating his masculinity. He treats you with a protective, dominant energy when you surrender the reins. You will see him stand taller. You will see him take more initiative. This is not about making yourself weak. It is about making him strong. It takes a very strong woman to let go of control. If you constantly correct him or take over, he will eventually stop trying. He will become passive. He will let you do everything, and then he will resent you for it. But if you lean back and receive his efforts with grace, he will work harder to please you. Sustaining attraction is about balance. You handle the world, let him handle you. The golden age of women, as we come to the end of this journey, I want you to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. What we have discussed over these chapters is not just about dating tips or understanding male psychology. It is about a fundamental shift in the world. We are living in the golden age of women. For centuries, the narrative was written by people who wanted to control you. You were told that your value was tied to your youth. You were told that you had an expiration date, and that once you passed a certain age, 30, 40, 50, you became invisible. You were told that you had to settle for whatever you could get, or worse, that you should just be grateful to be chosen at all. But look around you. That narrative is collapsing. Women are peaking later in life than ever before. You are taking better care of your bodies, your minds, and your finances. You are starting businesses in your 50 seconds. You are traveling the world in your 60 seconds. You are vibrant, you are sexy, and you are powerful. And here is the truth that the magazines won't tell you. Men have noticed. The younger generation of men is rejecting the old script. They are not looking for the submissive, inexperienced housewife of the 1,950 seconds. They are looking for a partner who can stand toe-to-toe with them. They are looking for the goddess. You are not past your prime. You are just entering your power years. When a younger man looks at you, he doesn't see a woman who is holding on to her youth. He sees a woman who has transcended it. He sees a woman who has become something more valuable than just young. He sees substance. He sees fire. He sees a woman who knows exactly who she is. So I want you to let go of the fear that you are competing with younger women. You aren't. You are playing a completely different game in a league they haven't even qualified for yet. You have something they cannot buy. You have the allure of the woman who has lived. Embrace this time in your life. Do not shrink. Do not hide. The world is changing, and for the first time in history, the most desirable woman in the room is not the one who is naive and unblemished. It is the one who is wise, experienced, and unapologetically herself. You are the new archetype of desire. Own it. Trust your intuition. Finally, I want to leave you with the most important advice of all. We have analyzed the psychology, the red flags, and the strategies. But at the end of the day, there is only one expert on your relationship, you. The world will always have an opinion. Your friends might whisper. Your family might question. The statistics might tell you that age gap relationships have challenges. People will project their own insecurities, their own failures, and their own rigid beliefs onto your happiness. I want you to turn the volume down on all of that noise. Close your eyes and ask yourself the simple questions. Does he treat me with respect? Does he make me feel safe? Does he look at me with passion? Do I feel like my best self when I am with him? If the answers are yes, then nothing else matters. Trust your intuition. You have lived long enough to know the difference between a lie and the truth. You know what love feels like. You know what being used feels like. If your gut tells you that this man adores you, believe it. Do not let fear of the future rob you of the joy of the present. Maybe it lasts forever. Maybe it lasts 5 years. Maybe it lasts a season. But is love any less valuable because it didn't fit the traditional mold? No. You deserve to be adored. You deserve to be pursued. You deserve to feel the electric touch of a man who looks at you like you are the only woman in the world. If that man happens to be younger, let him be younger. Let him love you. Do not apologize for your happiness. Do not explain it away. Just live it. You have done the work. You have built a life. Now allow yourself to enjoy the reward. Trust yourself, trust your value, and walk into this relationship with your head held high. You are the prize, and he knows it. Now it is time for you to know it too. Thank you for listening.